Hello everyone, welcome to Madrid Pulse. You got the source of the latest news events and everything happens in the heart of Spain. Real Madrid are set for a busy transfer window, with at least 4 signings already lined up and the potential for a 5th if everything goes according to plan. Among those already expected to join the Spanish Giants are Dean Huijsen and Trent Alexander-Arnold, who will bring fresh quality and depth to the squad. They will soon be joined by Álvaro Carreras and Franco Mastantuono, with both deals close to completion. However, the focus at Valdebebas has now turned towards the potential acquisition of Martin Zubimendi, a player highly regarded within the club and seen as the ideal reinforcement for the midfield, especially with the imminent arrival of Xabi Alonso as head coach. But before continue, make sure you have already subscribed for getting more Real Madrid updates. Let's dive in. Zubimendi, currently with Real Sociedad, has been on the radar of several top European clubs thanks to his consistent performances in La Liga and his composed, intelligent style of play. Real Madrid's interest in the 26-year-old is not new, but it has intensified in recent weeks. The club views him as a long-term solution in midfield, particularly given the expected transitions in that department as veteran players gradually phase out and younger talent steps up. Xabi Alonso, who has a deep understanding of Zubimendi's game from his time coaching in Spain, is understood to have identified the midfielder as his top priority for this summer. Alonso's preference has influenced the club's decision to make a final push for the Spaniard, despite the stiff competition. Arsenal have been in advanced negotiations with Zubimendi for some time and are widely believed to have agreed personal terms with the player. The Premier League side have made it clear they are willing to activate the $60 million release clause in his contract with Real Sociedad, a move that would allow them to bypass further negotiations with the Basque club. However, the deal has not yet been finalized and is not expected to be concluded until sometime in July. This delay has opened a narrow but significant window of opportunity for Real Madrid to step in and try to hijack the transfer. Real Madrid's strategy, according to reports from Diario AS, involves making one last attempt to sign Zubimendi without triggering the full release clause. Instead of paying the $60 million outright, the club is exploring alternative offers that could include 1 or 2 players sent to Real Sociedad on a cost-free loan basis, thereby reducing the overall financial outlay. This approach reflects Real Madrid's ongoing commitment to fiscal responsibility, especially in light of recent major investments such as Kylian Mbappe's free transfer, which came with substantial wages and signing-on fees. The possibility of Zubimendi accepting the offer is not entirely out of reach. Despite the attractiveness of the Premier League and the lucrative salary package offered by Arsenal, it is understood that Zubimendi has a preference to remain in Spain. He values proximity to his home, familiarity with the league, and the prestige that comes with playing for Real Madrid. This preference could be the deciding factor that swings the balance in Madrid's favor, provided the club can match or at least approach the financial incentives Arsenal have put forward. Nonetheless, some obstacles remain. One of the most pressing issues is the salary. Arsenal's offer is believed to significantly exceed what Real Madrid are willing to pay. If Zubimendi were to choose Madrid, he would likely have to accept a reduced wage package compared to what he would earn in England. That said, for many players, the opportunity to wear the famous white shirt of Real Madrid and compete for the Champions League and La Liga titles under a coach like Alonso could outweigh the immediate financial gain. As of now, Real Madrid are cautiously optimistic. The club has formally approached both Real Sociedad and Zubimendi's representatives, and talks have progressed rapidly over the past few days. Sources close to the negotiations have indicated that Zubimendi is open to the move and has responded positively to Madrid's latest proposal. Real Sociedad, while initially reluctant, are also more receptive to the idea of a structured deal involving loan players if it avoids losing their midfield star for free under the release clause. In the end, a full agreement has been reached. Real Madrid will not pay the full $60 million release clause, but instead, a deal has been struck with Real Sociedad that includes a reduced fee along with 2 players heading to the Basque club on loan. Zubimendi has accepted a slightly lower salary than he would have received in England, but he is convinced by the sporting project in Madrid and especially keen to work under Xabi Alonso. Both clubs have signed off on the terms, and the player himself has now agreed personal terms with Real Madrid. The transfer will be formally announced in the coming weeks, but behind the scenes, all elements of the deal have been finalized. Zubimendi will be the fifth signing of Real Madrid's summer, completing a major midfield reinforcement ahead of the 2025-26 season and setting the stage for what promises to be a new era under Alonso's leadership.
Zubimendi was asked about his situation at Real Sociedad and whether he could see himself leaving this summer. The midfielder was careful with his words, but didn't rule out a change. "There are options," he admitted. "It seems like it's going to be a different, long summer, and I don't know how it will end." While he emphasized the importance of the UEFA Nations League and his current commitment to the national team, the uncertainty in his tone hinted at a possible departure from San Sebastian. Though he has long been a key figure in Imanol Alguacil's setup and deeply rooted in the club's values, Zubimendi appears open to exploring new challenges. A significant topic of conversation in the interview was his relationship with Xabi Alonso, a Real Madrid legend, and now a highly regarded coach. "I've always said he was my idol, and that for me it's a stroke of luck that I was able to be coached by him with the reserve team in a very important year," said Zubimendi. That statement, layered with admiration, also contained a certain hint of openness toward the idea of working with Alonso again in the future, perhaps at a club like Real Madrid, where Alonso is widely tipped to be a future manager. Pressed further about whether he would consider a move if Alonso or someone from Madrid were to call, Zubimendi was diplomatic but telling. "What if he calls me now? I don't like to talk about those hypotheticals. I prefer to talk about the present, because I also think it would be disrespectful to answer from the training camp," he stated. Despite his caution, his avoidance of a clear denial suggests he is not opposed to such a possibility, especially given the context of Real Madrid's potential midfield reshuffling following the departure of veterans like Toni Kroos. Zubimendi has long been admired for his calmness on the ball, tactical intelligence, and ability to control tempo, traits that would make him a natural successor to Madrid's iconic midfielders. Although he has turned down previous approaches, including rumored interest from Barcelona and Arsenal, the prospect of playing at the Bernabeu under a manager like Alonso could be a uniquely tempting opportunity. Unlike previous rumors that he was on the verge of joining Arsenal, a claim he publicly denied, Zubimendi didn't dismiss the possibility of joining Madrid with the same firmness. Indeed, he used the interview to clarify a recent incident that stirred transfer speculation. A few weeks ago, photos of him on a beach in Spain circulated online while rumors suggested he was undergoing medical tests with Arsenal. "Yes, I did it to make it clear that those rumors weren't true," Zubimendi explained, pointing out the false nature of the story and his commitment to transparency. His quick action to dismiss the Arsenal links stood in contrast to his far more reserved and cautious tone when speaking about Madrid, further fueling talk that Los Blancos might be on his radar. Though Zubimendi remains a player under contract at Real Sociedad and continues to speak respectfully of the club that raised him, there's a clear sense that he is not closing doors. With Madrid in need of long-term midfield reinforcement and the player's profile fitting perfectly into their philosophy, a transfer may depend only on whether the capital club decides to trigger his release clause. For now, Zubimendi stays focused on his national team duties, but his measured words suggest that Real Madrid is a destination he would seriously consider, if and when the moment comes.